Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is all about growth periods. Growth periods, not another friggin' growth period. But yes, life is a growth period. Life is a growth experience. From the moment you're born, it's a growth period. And the most noticeable ones are when you are going through big transitions in your life. I mean, when you were big enough to go to school, when you graduated school, when you got married, when you got your first job. Not necessarily all in that order, but whenever you go through some big transition that shifts and changes, that expands you, that gives you a new identifier, that removes an identifier, all those things are growth periods. A fun thing I noticed a while back was when I was doing a lot of personal growth training, is that if I felt really crappy in the weeks or days preceding going to that workshop or seminar or whatever that was, what it meant was that it was going to be this amazing healing experience and that I would come out at the end of that seminar renewed. However, if I felt all really spiffy and perfect before going into that seminar, I was going to come out a big sobbing mess. Why? Because we bring up our stuff to work on. And if you're bringing up your stuff to work on before you go to that seminar, it helps you resolve it, clean it, move you to the next level. If you're being all perfect before you go to the growth experience that you have signed up for, then you're going to feel all that changes while that is happening and have to do your processing afterwards. So, the planet is continuously in a growth period, in different growth spaces. Humanity is continuously in different growth spaces. It feels like they have accelerated. If you look back over history, things used to take a long time to evolve, in even building up to, wars, countries, revolutions, and things like that. Took a long time, and it feels like all of that stuff is happening faster. Part of that is the availability of media so that we can see regimes topple, not realizing how long it took for those regimes to topple. But we can see trends from around the world. We can see people uprising from around the world. We can experience the expansion and collapse of things within our culture, which is happening at a very rapid rate right now. From the perspective of consciousness, it's really an exhilarating time. We're actually really excited about this. It actually feels good to expand. From the perspective of our personality, it's like, oh, not another friggin' growth phase. It's hard because our personalities, our egos, we don't like change. We like our comfortable ruts. We like our discomfort more than we like expansion as a general rule, until you become kind of a personal growth junkie, and then all you want to do is expand. But you gotta have time to integrate. Otherwise, it's like building a house and really not creating your foundation or testing your structures before going to the next. I just had a revelation here, going to the next level. So what happened to me over a period of a decade or so is I noticed for myself every couple years I would go through another major expansion. And it would be kind of, the feeling was that the scaffolding of my life would give away and the structures of my life would collapse. And I would have to rebuild again. And the first time this happened, it was pretty major. It kind of felt like I collapsed all the way down to the basement. And then as this continued over time, the collapse would just be to the last floor I was working on, kind of thing. And something has shifted and changed in the past few years where it's not that the changes have been slower, they certainly have not, but there has been something more foundational there. And I don't know if it's just getting older or I finally learned something that wasn't familiar to me in the past. Or maybe it's just getting used to the new rhythm of expansion and growth and change, because we grow and change as often as your phone updates, if not more frequently. Maybe every morning we grow and expand. Every morning we have an opportunity to step into a new reality. And when you don't resist it, it actually becomes easier. So maybe that's what it is. It's like not resisting the change that's coming at you. If you resist the change that is coming at you, you're going to find it bowling you over. It's going to be a tsunami instead of just like a minor splish splash that's going on. And even if you see a big change coming, if you don't resist it, it is not quite so scary and awful when you get through. In keeping with the water analogy, if you've ever gone to the beach and just stood out in the beach and jumped the waves that come through. And I remember doing this for the first time in Hawaii, and I was, jumping the waves, and someone near me pointed out, because there was a big wave coming, and he said, hey, what you just do is you dive through it. So this big honking wave came, and my instinct was to just hightail it back to shore. But what happens when you do that is the wave knocks you over, it makes you tumble, you get spit out on the beach with your sand in your pants, and really uncomfortable experience. But if you take a look at that big wave coming and you dive right through it, you come out to the other side. That's what it's like. That's what personal growth is like, living in a body in this physical reality realm. If you see something major coming, it really works best to kind of look it straight on and walk through it. Because here's the thing, that big old wave that's coming at you, it's not reality happening to you. It's you as consciousness creating the circumstances for change. You as consciousness create all of this. Everything you're perceiving, everything you're hearing right now, everything you're experiencing in your life is a creation of your greater self. And so everything is an opportunity for you to expand into the greater self that you are. When you realize that, you embrace all the change that happens. If you like these videos, you can subscribe to them on YouTube. You can also sign up below to get them in your inbox. If you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I put out a weekly radio show and podcast. I write a weekly blog and newsletter. I do meetups around the Puget Sound, Seattle, Tacoma. And for people who don't live nearby, I do monthly webinars. And if you want to know more about how to navigate the growth periods that you're going through, how to do it from an expanded perspective of consciousness, which really makes it so much more easy and effortless to get through, then go to joan-newcomb.com and look at my coaching program. So go to joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you in another couple days with another Mystic Minute.